The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop, and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com.
I can hear you.
All right.
All right.
Did you get all the questions from the thing?
I did.
All right.
Yeah, man. I'm prepared. Look at this.
Oh.
Notes.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, well, that's how it kind of it sometimes goes. Like, you know, one of us is, prepared. The other's not. Vice versa. Sometimes we're both not prepared. I never commented on your shelves last episode.
Very
nice.
you can see them, huh?
Yeah, they're very nice.
Thanks.
All sorts of little trinkets and stuff up there.
Yeah. Yeah, finally a place to put all the stuff that's just been hiding in my closet.
Right. Looks great. I like it.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm redoing this.
Okay.
Because, I don't know if you can see.
I can't see that.
I can move you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know what that looks like. I've been in your office before.
I took that picture down.
Oh, yeah. You took the map down.
Yeah, and I took the picture next to the other picture down.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was that green one, and then I have all that over there.
Oh, nice. How long have you lived in your house? Like 3 years now?
2 years last month.
2 years last month.
Yeah,
that's the way it goes. I've lived in this house for 40 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what?
Yeah, and we'll probably live in this house another at least 4, because I went to that meeting last
night.
you went?
Oh, yeah. That's... I don't know. Like, is that is that an interesting podcast talk? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So they're just basically rezoned behind my house, and I knew all that stuff was going to get. For people that are listening, behind my house is 13 miles of open desert.
Yes. I
knew that was going to get developed at some point in time.
It had to.
Yeah. I mean, because there's housing projects that there's land out there. It's a mix of private, state. And a lot of the land has been zoned for like 25 years for houses. They were just waiting for the growth to hit that area.
Right.
So now it is, but they're like not growing from the bottom up. They're just sporadically putting things in places.
That's interesting to me. But then again, if you think about it, you're sporadically placed.
We're not, because we're a different city.
Oh, that's right. You're on the edge of the.
We're Buckeye, so our backyard's Surprise.
That's right.
So the main road is like south of us by like a mile and a half or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're not putting houses by the main road. They're putting them all the way down by us and right in the little corner.
They're like, Brian, good.
Yeah,
we'll mess up his view.
How much did he pay for a lot? We're going to put stuff behind him.
Yeah.
But it's just like single family residences. But their backyard we're going to share a wall. So my wall will be their backyard wall. They're not going to be like a buffer between the two.
Wow. It's like, so you saw like the planning, and that's
yeah.
For sure.
Yep. 100%.
That's crazy.
And I was like, well, are they going to be, he's like, they're 30 feet is tall is the limit per zoning code. So
right. Because behind you, they would like to put some high density housing.
One parcel of high density, but it's not close to us. It's farther away.
Okay.
But so right behind us will be houses, but it could be like a 2-story house.
Right.
And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
So we will be, it's probably going to be 2.5 to 3 years before they even move dirt there.
Yeah.
But then with the demand here, they're going to put that whole thing on the market. Someone's going to pick it up quick. And then once we know what they're building behind us is going to be kind of what we know where we're going to go.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I don't mind people living behind me. I don't care. Mm-hmm. People live right next to me and all that stuff. But I don't want to like put a bunch of money into a pool in the nice backyard and be chilling and look up and there's just someone just staring down at us.
Yeah, I mean that happens. I mean, well, like I don't know specifically, but you've lived in sort of like that type of environment your whole life, like housing tracts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not used to it. You've moved past that, and you're like, I don't like that anymore. I want something.
I need a little bit of this.
A little more space.
I need a
little more elbow room.
I want some more elbow room. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and Chelsea's like, I'm not moving. You're moving. And I'm like,
Oh wow, she put
Yeah.
it down like that.
yeah. And so then I had to like be like, well, we could have a bigger kitchen somewhere. She's like,
Oh, see, yeah,
for baking and stuff.
for
so.
the baked goods.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
yeah,
yeah, it'll just be interesting to see. I mean, you know, it's like I said, I don't mind. We need houses. We need housing. I don't mind living right next door to people. But the reason we waited to get this specific lot
yeah, because it was out
for
in the
a little
back.
bit more privacy. Yeah.
Right. Well, can't stop progress, man.
Yes, you can. You move away from it.
Oh well. Well, that's not stopping the progress. You
It's,
evading it.
yeah. It's
You're
just,
simply evading it.
it's like when you shave your chin because you're like, oh, you can't see it.
I'm
So
growing
it's
it back.
not there. Are you growing it back? What did
Yeah,
Andrew
man.
say about it?
She liked it. She
Yeah?
was like, yeah, she liked it. She's like, you look younger, you know. But you know what? I'm not younger. Like, I don't know, man. I'm having some existential crisis lately.
No, I know the feeling, man. It's we go through it in different ways.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is,
Yeah.
but yeah, growing my chin hair back. Just trying to get through this life. We're recording 2 episodes this week. We just recorded the other day,
We did.
right? And so not much has changed. I dropped another video.
I
Look-
didn't watch it
Look
yet, but
at me.
I know.
I'm like on fire.
You are.
If I was to toot my own horn a little bit. That's because I spent 6 months not being on fire. So at least
You're
it like
per-
kind of
you're-
makes up for it.
You're preparing for the next lull. So when someone
honestly,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's going to happen. I've been in a lull uploading stuff kind of because I've just been editing other things.
Other
So
stuff, yeah.
I'm just like every time I go to like edit a video, like I'm gonna do mini nats next, but then I've mini nats, Rolling Red Rocks, classic truck, throwdown, and C10. So I have like 4 or 5 in the tank, but I'm like every time I go, I'm like I need to finish this project first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get through all of my work projects.
Yeah. It's sort of like the old thing, like it's like tales old as time, like the mechanic, you know, has a worse car, construction worker doesn't have a great house. You know what I mean? So like for you, it's the same thing. It's like you work so hard on other people's stuff. When it comes to your stuff, you're kind of like, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
It's not that I'm like I don't want to. It's I feel bad putting my stuff in front of payment.
Oh, yeah. I see. That makes sense.
You know, it would be like you printing T-shirts. Someone pays you a bunch of money to print T-shirts, and you're like, "Meh, I'll print my own first."
I've done that.
Yeah, I mean,
when it's coming up for a show, and
yeah,
you know, but I let the customer know and stuff. But hey, also, on
Also, you
fire,
released a T-shirt.
I dropped a shirt yesterday, which by the
Yes.
time this episode comes out, it's been out for a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm just trying. Look, I'm trying to apply what we have been talking about, like
getting stuff done.
getting stuff done.
It feels good.
Do something. It does. It actually feels really good.
Yeah.
Feels really good. You know, I came up with a rough idea. Angie tweaked a little bit. Came out awesome. Really happy with it. It's called the Hardcore Mini Trucker shirt.
Mhm.
It was inspired by your video.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what it
the
was inspired
panda.
by. I don't. Sometimes, you know, either by accident or on purpose, sometimes things happen and they become, I don't want to say iconic, but definitely something. First, I don't even know what the rest. I forgot what the rest of that video was about. But the first 30 seconds of that video is so good, and just that the way you cut it from him saying that, and for let me go into a little clarification. So the shirt is Hardcore Mini Truckers. It says it in like an acronym type thing. It says HCMT, and at the bottom it's a quote from Panda. And in your video, you did a shop tour, Panda shop, and in the beginning of the video, he says, "We're like hardcore mini truckers," and then it immediately cuts to Clay just ripping out of the shop, going sideways in his S10, getting low on it.
That was actually the teaser for that video. That's not the way the
that's right.
actual video went down, but that was just a teaser.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What are you? I want. Okay, yeah. I remember.
I haven't watched that video in a long time.
I know. But yeah, so I mean, it just that little moment. I knew I was going to create something like this back then. As soon as I saw it, you know, I didn't know what it was going to be, but I saw that and I was like, I definitely want to do something with that. So I did, and it came out, and I like it. And again, like, you know, we've talked before about me being a little obscure about things. The other inspiration for it is the way it is. It's an X, and it says HCMT, and that comes from New York hardcore music. Like in the 80s, 90s, New York hardcore music, that was like their symbol. They would take the X, and it also plays into like the whole like straight edge thing, you know, sort of, kind of. But basically, that was like their logo for that movement of music. So married the two together. People seem to like it because I'm actually selling some on the website. So
that's good.
I mean, that's good. I bounced it off of our little, you know, creative community that we had, and talked to Lindsay, and she thought it was cool, you know, and then she said, well, how'd it do? And I was like, I think it's doing good.
Yeah. It'd be funny if you get all excited about it, you throw up, and you're just like looking at the website like.
That happened to the other one because I actually dropped another shirt that I didn't really talk about. I did our custom Por Vida shirt on a burgundy, kind of do a little different colorway.
Yeah.
Not so popular.
I bet you that works out better at an actual show.
Yeah, could be. It could be a lot of these work out better at an actual show. I don't know.
Well, my buddy had a booth, Cruise Industries. He had a booth at C10 Slowdown, and he had Kustom Ain't Easy, and he spells with a K, Kustom Ain't Easy, and he had two shirts, and one was on black and one was like on a creamish, tannish color, and then he had a couple other ones that weren't on black shirts, and he said people constantly were coming up to him and like, I'm buying this because it's not on a black shirt.
Oh yeah, I did that shirt on a navy shirt, and I got the same reaction. I've done other burgundy shirts and got the same reaction. People, it's weird because some people love color and some people don't.
Well, I think most of the people that like probably watch our videos and follow us consistently like black shirts. But if you have a crowd of people that might not know who we are at a show that are just coming to spectate, they might not be into the.
That's a great point.
As it, you know what I mean? So they're just looking around, and they're like, I'm gonna buy some shirts here, you know what I mean? And they're looking around, they're like, why are all these shirts black? And then they like beeline to the color of shirts.
Yeah. So. No, that's a great point. Yeah.
That's what I want to do with those Stay Low shirts is I want to come out with a couple different colors and see how they go.
Cool.
I want to add something to the Stay Low though.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, was it gonna be like the same box logo like that, or maybe something?
No, man, because remember I don't have the box. I don't have the box logo anymore.
Oh, you got that rid of that?
You've made T-shirts without the box logo.
No, I know, but I didn't know if it was like a alternate thing, like you were still had it kind of in the chamber kind of thing.
No, I'm gonna do the new one, just the one that I've done recently. But I want to add something, just like a little something on it. You know what I mean? Whether
it's crazy how like stuff like that, just adding like a couple lines or maybe it's really weird. It's like either like a couple dots, a couple lines, underline it. Oh, I don't know, something. It just changes the whole look of it, you know. Yeah,
exactly.
It's weird.
Or it could really make it better or make it worse.
That's true. So yeah, so we're firing on all cylinders lately around here.
We're trying.
But you pointed out last week something interesting. I don't know if it was on the podcast or in our little talk afterwards, but I said, you know, I'm so stoked. I'm like kicking ass on these videos, uploading them, and you're like, yeah, because you didn't have softball.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Well, yeah, guess what starts next week? Or by the time this came out, I'm already 2 weeks into it, but we're back in it. So we just balance that part of it, I guess.
Well, it's also hard to – this is another hard thing. Like, you could have made all these videos and then spaced them out once every 2 weeks. Like, but – yeah. That's what I would have done. I am not you. You are not me. So we do things differently.
Right.
But it's hard to get – it's hard to not upload them when you're finished.
Right, because that's what I was going to say, because you kind of get excited. Like, it's done.
You get excited because you want the reaction.
Yeah, you want to show it off.
You want the comments. You want the people to be like, oh, that was so cool. Oh, I saw my truck. Oh, this. And
right.
Like, then there's certain parts of the video, and you know that person will be excited for it. So you, like, want to upload it, and then that person's, and you're waiting for them to watch it. You're like,
yeah.
And then they do, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's just like building these trucks, I guess. We want to build them and show them off. So we want to make these videos and show them off to people.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and it's always great hearing the good comments, and got a ton of those. Got a couple other ones, but you know, whatever. I mean, nothing bad, but it's little stuff that kind of like sticks in your hat a little bit. You know what I mean?
Is it things like how some people take the thumbs up where it's actually a good thing, but you take it as a bad thing?
I don't know, because I'm not going to put this person on blast, but I guess if I say it, you can go look and see. But this person said, but then, okay, look. Oh, here's the thing.
Okay.
They're right. They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
Yeah.
So even when I finish a video, it's 4 minutes long. It's a lot shorter than anything else I've made. And I know that. And it's short, fun, and kind of sweet. And this person goes like, wish it was a little bit longer. Wish I had more shenanigans in it. And I'm like, I mean, he's not wrong. This person, he, she, I don't know who they are, but at
wrong. The same time, that show, like, you enjoyed yourself without the camera there.
I did. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you were like, I'm just going to have fun. Like, so, you had just got off of mini nets too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just got off of mini nets.
Yeah. So you just want to sometimes, like, I would love to go to mini nets and not pick my camera up.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Like, I want to take my truck to mini nets, and the year I take my truck, do you think I'm going to want to be like, all right, Frank, let's go get cruise footage?
Yeah, I know. I thought about that because we're gearing up for that scenario. I wonder how it's going to go.
So I think my goal is to have my Tacoma at mini nets next year, the next one. So I think if we do, we'll just take turns driving the Tacoma, and then sit in the bed of that and film out of that. But it would be so cool. Like imagine you take your 4Runner there. You want to film your 4Runner being driven, but you don't want to like go hop in the Maverick or the Titan and like go up and down and film. You want to drive your 4Runner and have fun.
Yeah.
So I think those videos are going to be, well, let's preface those videos. Whenever we take our trucks to mini nets, those videos are going to be more about us than you guys.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's sort of how this video worked out too, because also you haven't watched it yet, but I think I explained it pretty well. Like nothing was left out. I feel like the only thing that I kind of left out, and because I didn't really film anything, was hanging out like Friday night at Kokomo's at the bar. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's just hanging out at the bar. Like it's not. I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's not very interesting.
I mean, there's ways to make it interesting, but at the same time, then you gotta like, I don't know. Sometimes you just want to not have the camera.
Yeah, but no, I liked it. I liked it. I kind of liked it being a little faster and shorter. It kind of got the point. I explained everything that was happening. Everything going on, and it was fun. So I don't know. Whatever. When you watch it, you can let me know
in the comments. I'll be like, this should have been longer.
You're like, this is garbage.
It's a scroll of suggestions.
Bullet point A.
Bullet 1A, 1B, 1 uppercase A, lowercase B.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. Well. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's been going on. We wanted to answer some questions last episode. We didn't get around to it, so that's sort of what we're doing today.
I also have something else though, real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Before we get into the question, because I know once we get in, we're just going to roll on it. But
yeah,
upcoming events.
Okay.
When does this episode go up?
This will be going up
the 21st.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have the cancer show, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. September 9th.
Yep. And then the following weekend is the Grand National Truck Show down there in SoCal.
The Grand National. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So this is something I learned over the weekend when I was at Slowdown talking to Juan from Relax, because he's heavily involved in this. And
yeah, and that's why it popped up in my head, because he's been posting a lot about it.
So I didn't know that this was open to every truck regardless of year, make, and model. I thought it was just old trucks.
Right. Yeah, that's what you assume.
Yeah, and that's exactly. And that's what I told him. I said, well, whoever's marketing this is only posting older trucks. So guys with mini trucks, like the Grand National Roadster Show, there's always like a couple of mini truck spots in there for everybody. And for those that don't know, I mean, most of everyone should. The Grand National Roadster Show is like one of the premier hot rod roadster shows in the world.
And that's down in Pomona.
Yep, and this is thrown by the same people in the same area, in the same location, and everything. So it's just for trucks. But I was like, well, whoever's doing that, you need to let people know that mini trucks are more than welcome here. Not by special invite, but you can just register your 1995 Chevy S10 or Toyota Tacoma or whatever it is, and do this. And he's like, "Oh, I thought everyone knew." I'm all,
yeah, no. Which was kind of to kind of get in the weeds about that one. When he kept on tagging me in it, I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I thought he was tagging me to kind of like, let me know that there's a cool event. But then once he started posting like, the pink Mitsubishi and stuff, I'm like, Oh, then I started to understand.
Yeah, and I think that's why he did post that pink Mitsubishi is because of our conversation. So,
I see.
so if anyone in the mini truck community, which it's kind of a little late for me to go, I really want to go, but I think next year for sure. Like, it's going to be a really cool event.
And that's the weekend after the cancer show.
Yep.
Oh,
so
okay.
September 16th through 17th. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring that up. And it was funny because at the Slowdown, the guy from the Good Guys shows, he was setting up a booth there, and Juan was like, "Hey," Juan said, "Even the Good Guys shows now allows newer stuff."
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the guy from Good Guys was like,
because the newer stuff is now becoming the older stuff.
This goes right back into the conversation we had about classic stuff. And even the Good Guys, he was like, "Yeah, we had a couple Hondas win awards."
Really?
Like Honda Civics.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
There's this transformation now of the old, like, I mean, for the Good Guys show, when you think of the Good Guys show, you think no, I'm not even like, I don't even go to the Good Guys show out here because it just doesn't, there's not enough stuff there to pique my interest.
Right.
And
lots of Chevelle. Like when I think of the Good Guys show, I'm thinking like, big block Chevelles,
Novas,
Corvettes, Novas, drag cars, like that kind of stuff.
Which is cool, but it's not my thing, so I'm not going to go out of my way to go there. But there's a transformation starting to where if you're a mini truck guy and you're looking for an event to go to, you can start looking at these events and attending those events. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And if anyone,
no, that's really cool. That's really cool because like that's the natural trajectory of things. Because like, our parents and grandparents who were into hot rodding were only doing things that they did when they were kids, which was old Fords and Chevys and stuff. And now the guy who's like 45 years old really doesn't have a connection to a 34 Ford other than that's a cool looking car.
Yep.
But he's definitely got a connection to a 95 Civic, with a big motor in it and stuff. So, yeah, makes sense. Makes total sense.
And a lot of these guys are putting a lot of money into some of these trucks. And this is like a great indoor show. They're going to have at the Roadster show, they have the world's most beautiful Roadster. And it's a huge trophy, and they add your name to the plaque and all that stuff.
Yeah, like almost like a Stanley Cup kind of thing.
Exactly. And they're going to do that here. So
that's awesome.
You're going to have the Ford Ranger, the Stranger.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he's going for it, so he might get the first. A mini truck might win.
Amazing.
The first America's Most Beautiful Truck Award.
Wow, that kind of gives me a little goosebumps.
Right?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So like
that's really cool.
Things that we kind of don't. As mini truckers, we kind of think of mini truck shows, and like that's our thing because no one else accepts us.
Exactly.
Now it's becoming what we kind of fought for so long. Like, hey man, these are cool too. Hey man, we put a lot of work into these too. And now it's kind of the thing. They're almost forced to do it because maybe like, I mean, it's all revenue, right?
Well, like, I mean, at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. I mean, they were for it. Good Guys was forced to.
Those 34 Ford dudes not around a lot,
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I know. But the Good Guys stuff was like they had to open it up to OBSs. I think in the last like 5 years they did it because they wouldn't even allow up to 98s. And you have all these OBS guys. That's what they grew up with.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where you go. That's where your heart goes. That's where your interests go. Is what you grew up with. So, anyways, I just wanted to bring that up.
Cool.
Before we got into any questions, and and the vendor stuff isn't expensive either for that. So
wow, I'd be interested to find out about that.
Yeah, something to think about. I'm going to talk to one of the guys that runs it and possibly about getting in next year. So
cool. The first one we got going down is actually a great question and probably will take up.
Oh wait, we didn't.
Oh,
we can't just.
It's been so long, I forgot. Okay, so this first question is actually a really great question. We'll probably eat up a big, probably maybe the rest of the episode, depending on how it goes. It's a very simple question, but there's a lot of extra details to it. And
so we also have still a lot of questions from the past. Too,
we do. But I think I really want to talk about this because I got some good notes on this. So anyway, Mike Gallego, who is with the club, hanging out with the club, his question is really simple. My question is, what does it take to get your vehicle on a show's artwork? And
who was this?
Mike Gallego.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then so I thought about that and I was like, yeah, that's a great question. And we'll dive into that. But that opens up a whole nother questions about the show shirts, specifically the Forbidden Fantasy show shirts.
Oh yeah. I don't think this will take too long. This will be pretty quick.
Okay.
So the way Forbidden Fantasy does it is we look at the last year and we say, all right, who's done the most to their vehicle, like basically completed it to a point. It doesn't have to be like full interior or whatever, like, but just to a really nice point. And then also who's like active with taking their vehicle to the two shows.
Right.
So it's kind of like a reward from the club to the club member, and their vehicles go on it. Other shows, sometimes other shows take the previous best of show and put it on the next year's shirt.
Okay. And
then some events just find popular trucks in the scene and put them on there.
Right.
So it's all different.
Yeah. Well, I definitely, I'm sure it varies from club to club, but what it opened up in my mind was the whole like history of doing it. We're about to have, or no, this year. Wait, which one was the 30th anniversary of the show? Was it this year or last year?
Well, we haven't had 30 years yet.
Oh, we haven't. Okay. Anyway, well, we're getting close, right?
98 was the first one, so
never mind.
we're
not close at all. Anyway, it's been going on a long time, and there's been many since then has been many show shirts. So it kind of got me thinking about like, when you put on the show, like what was the first year that had the really intricate artwork on it?
2000, because 98 we did 2001, 98. In 99, our show was at Fireworks Family Fun Park in Marina Valley.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have show shirts. It was supposed to be just this little show. 2000, we went to Paris Fairgrounds. And I don't know if we had shirts that first year, but it wasn't from the first year. Shirts were not from Fuel.
Oh, okay.
The second time we had T-shirts, they were from Fuel, and they were known as Infinite Designs back then.
Right.
And it had Tony Galindo's Accord on it and Glenn's 86 Toyota, 84 to 88 Toyota.
Well, now I feel really bad because that was actually my first Forbidden shirt, and I don't have it anymore. Was that 2001 shirt?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I didn't know that was the first one of the. I'm gonna kind of refer to this as the intricate artwork just to give it a name. So not for any other reason than just to give it a name.
Yeah.
So that was my first. That was my first Forbidden that I went to. So I got the show shirt, and I had no idea that was the first year of that type of artwork.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that, and that's interesting because that's like what I have written down here is like that was my first one. But then my question is like who decided like, okay, we're gonna be doing this really intricate artwork on the show shirts, and we're gonna was it a plan to do it every year, or was it just gonna try it out at the beginning, or?
No, the plan was to have shirts in, because that's what people did at shows. They had event T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got introduced to Brandon at now Fuel Market, then Infinite Designs, from Bob Hayes, because he did Rezo's artwork.
Okay.
So the guy that did our very first year artwork, he did a bunch of art like Summer Madness and stuff like that. But I wanted something different a little bit. And I liked the Rezo artwork. I thought it was sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, I want to go to that guy. And that's when I met Brandon.
So I kind of forgot about all that. It sounds silly, but I kind of forgot about all that. How for many years before that, all the shows had intricate artwork. And like Rezo had always had the Rezo Man in different scenarios, mm-hmm. and for resolutions and the river runs. And now that I'm recollecting, like, oh yeah, they did. But those were intricate art in their own respect. But those were more like kind of cartoony art.
I would call them like a cookie cutter, kind of like not like they just weren't as I don't want to say intricate, but they just weren't as detailed. They weren't.
That's a good way to put it. Detailed.
Yeah, and we did some fun ones, right? So we would always go on, like the first one wasn't like this, but moving forward, we did like recent events. That's
the other thing is like it started after a while, like the one that you were talking about with the Accord and Glenn's truck on it. That I remember it had like a devil girl and like an angel girl on it, Yep. So which was kind of like, no, I don't want to say standard for the time, but it it would make sense, like good looking girls or whatever. But after a while, yeah, it developed into this thing where every year had some sort of like pop culture reference into it.
It did. Like we had when Michael Jackson died the same year.
I still have that one.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of them, but yeah.
That was his first year swine flu. So we had like pigs with guns. And then what was it? There was an actress that passed away and she was in it. And Michael Jackson's hand was coming out of the sewer with the glove.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. Like there's hidden things in our artwork too.
That's the thing is every shirt does have like a little bit of like hidden stuff, a theme to it. You know,
the first year Obama got elected,
I remember
like
that
the
one.
first black president. He was on the T-shirt in a like an Abe hat, smoking a joint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
and it was also the year of the Great Recession, so it had the mini truck with a for sale sign in it, and then the dude looking all beat down and wheels in a shopping cart.
Yeah, yep, yeah. And we don't do that as much anymore, just because everything is so polarized.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I think might be funny might not be what other people is funny.
That's a great point.
You know what I mean? And I'm not worried about like hurting people's feelings or anything like that. I just don't want to hear about it. So
yeah, you just don't want to deal with the backlash on it. That makes sense.
Yeah, and so like,
which is funny because like if you think about it, I guess we live in a different world now. But all of that other stuff you're describing is kind of like a hot button issue, like the Obama one, the end of the world one with the Mayan guy on the back.
Yeah, but that wasn't like hot button. That was just like, it wasn't as hot button as the more recent.
Yeah, that's
things.
true. Yeah, that's true.
You know, and
I'm sorry, I have to mention this one. This is an honorable mention. The bushmeat one.
Oh, yeah.
when all the members were dressed in like bio gear buying tainted meat. It's so funny, dude.
That was a play on Ebola.
That's what it was, Ebola. Yeah.
Which, when you think about it, is not funny.
It was not. Yeah, you're right.
It's a terrible, terrible disease, and here we are making fun of people dying.
That's true.
I think maybe you just back then you don't care as much, and then now you're like, oh well, that's not that funny.
Maybe,
you know what I mean? Like
could be.
You know, I don't know. It's
still
not everybody has such like some people have dark senses of humor, some people don't. It is what it is. And then there's tragedy. We played on tragedy, which was not. It's not.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. World economy crashing, Ebola virus. The end of the year one wasn't. End of the world one wasn't too bad.
We didn't really push the envelope a lot, but you know, we just keep it fun. I think when we moved to the Avi, 2016.
And that one was a good one too. It was members pushing the vehicle on the river, kind of like moving it out of Paris into this new location. Very well done.
Yeah. Yeah. And then now, and here's another aspect to that too. At Paris, it wasn't like fun there. It was fun there, but at the Avi, there's way more things to play on. You have gambling, you have the river, boats, you've got cards, playing cards. Like you have all these other aspects that make for better artwork anyways.
Yeah. And
we still hide certain things in there and have fun with it.
Oh yeah, if you look close, you can see some things in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my year cuz I was on the artwork. You know, your truck was on the artwork very early on.
My rendering was on the artwork. In fact, that year there was both those trucks that were on the artwork that year never got finished.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Mine was finished to a point. My interior wasn't done, but my truck did get to the point where yours is at. Basically, the whole outside was done.
Yeah,
you know. But there was a year we were at Avi and they wouldn't put the artwork on the big screen because of what was on it. They're like, "Oh yeah, we can't do that."
Which one was that?
I think I don't know.
The casino said no.
Yeah, the casino was like, "Oh no." There was guns on it or something or drinking. There was something on it, and they were like, "Nah, we're not going to put that on there."
It could have been, because the Avi ones was. I guess we can go through them or not go through them, but it was the first one was, oh my gosh, Ed and Jose, yeah, Ed and Jose, their trucks, and then my truck and Dean's truck. Yep. And then one year was really cool. That was the split year of
we did the night and day.
Yeah, we did Nancy's truck, and then we did Georgie's truck. Yeah, that was really cool.
It was night and day and husband and wife.
Right. Yeah, that was a really cool idea.
And white and black.
And that's sort of my point with this whole thing. The whole over the last however many years it's been so creative. And now I'm thinking even back to where like the transition was from like like that first show shirt was like the devil and angel chick, and then like you can tell like you guys were doing something fun like the mad scientist one, you know, and then you could kind of see, I think it was about 2008, 2009. That's when they started getting with the real heavy pop culture references and stuff like that. Because
do you remember the one we did one and it didn't have any club vehicles on it?
well, there was the giveaway truck.
The giveaway truck.
Yeah, but that was cool too because it was like the Puppet Master and all the members,
which was funny because that shirt, everyone said it was me as the Puppet Master and all the members doing my bidding. And I was like, no, that's not what. I didn't even
think of that, but yeah.
I was like, that's not the reference at all to this. And if you're listening, we're gonna put. I have all these shirts.
Well, that was my question. Like, do you still have access to? I know you have access to all the artwork, but Eve, do you have even like the far away ones, or is that just lost to time?
No, I have all of them.
Oh, you have all of them from the beginning, huh? Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite ones was when Little Brian's van was on it. Do you remember that?
That was the Mad Scientist one.
That was the Mad Scientist one with the test tube, like Frankenstein. And we did the pop culture one to the throwback to like the cheesy 60s horror movies.
Oh, is that the
with the lifted white truck, Simone's truck?
Oh, no, I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't even know that one. There have been so many. Yeah. You know, there's been a lot of them.
Yeah. This year's hopefully will be really good.
Has it been started being hammered out yet, or?
I picked one vehicle. Here's another part of it.
Oh, yeah.
No one knows what vehicles are going to go on there.
Nope. That's the best part.
It's just me picking them. And I don't know if that makes some of the members that maybe they're upset because they don't get I remember Erica used to be like, why'd you show everyone else before you showed us? She always makes fun of me because I do weird things sometimes. But a lot of times I'll just release it to the public without the club even ever seeing it. I mean, like last year, Joey's and Dave's truck was on there. Mm-hmm. So like they had no idea.
Which adds such a great aspect to it because I remember seeing mine for the first time. It was so great. It was such a mixed feeling too. You're like emotional, you know, because you're like getting this opportunity to like shine, and you're like really proud, and then you're like proud of the club, and then and then so like you put the artwork out there, you see it for the first time, you have all these emotions going on, and then everybody starts messaging you, congratulations, so tight, so cool, you know what I mean? So like it's a great experience, and that's like I think within the club, like that's one of the super special things about it, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. We did the one with all three countries that represented. So we had
that's right.
Dave's C10 with like the kangaroo, and then Jill's Blazer with like the
beaver.
The beaver, yeah. And then who was the USA rep on that one? Who was?
I don't know. I can't remember. I only remember the Australian and the Canadian one.
I know. I forgot who else is on there. I know like Rob's Maximo was on there one year.
That was the bushmeat one.
Yep.
And also. And I don't know if you do this or if the artist does this, but the members in it kind of start looking like some of the other members. And at least for me, I always try to guess. One year I was like when it was Rob's car and it was like the bushmeat, and you couldn't tell because everybody was wearing like gas masks and like hazmat suits. I'm like, that's Rob. That's like you could.
Oh
tell.
Yeah, we didn't. That's just.
Is that purely by accident?
It's like looking in the sky and making shapes out of clouds.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's no reference to the people.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's my little fun thing.
It is. Yeah, and then there's actually artwork that's been done that no one's ever seen.
Oh, really?
Because for 2020, like after when we were at Avi, Brandon started doing the main artwork and then
the alternate
special edition. Mm-hmm. And we used the little alternate guy on the beginning of this podcast. Remember when we first?
Oh
did
the
guy in the convertible truck with the big shifter. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. But there is a movie poster style. It looks like a 70s or 80s California surf movie, and it has a tilt bed truck on it, like a Datsun or Nissan with a tilt bed with a shell, and it looks like a movie advertisement.
That's so cool.
And no one's ever seen it.
I've never seen that. That's awesome.
Yeah. No one's ever seen it. I mean,
is it lost to time, or are you gonna?
No, we're gonna use it.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
There's
cool. Artwork out there that like we were gonna throw a show called Classic Trucks on the River.
I remember that
at one point in time. I have artwork for that no one's ever seen.
Yeah.
That was fully done.
Do you think? this might be a bold statement because like in the beginning of the conversation, I realized that these types of shirts been made for a really long time with this this very grand artwork on the back of them and stuff. But the artwork that is on the Forbidden shirts is definitely, like you said, a different kind of style. Do you think Forbidden is maybe responsible for that, or do you think everybody started figuring that out kind of at the same time?
I think everyone started because Reza was doing it before us.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because you had
said
said that they were using Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, I think everyone sees everyone else's artwork and gets intrigued by it. I mean, if like a lot of the some of the stuff that I've been liking lately is like Dino's artwork and the slowdown artwork and the intervention. That's all done by a guy, that Brian Stupsy guy out here.
Is that a Soul Prince
in Arizona? No. Brian Stupsky's an artist.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've actually printed some of his art before for Slammed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So like his art is not. It's a whole different. It's not as smooth and realistic looking.
I noticed that.
Very abstract, but he puts a lot of fun stuff in those pieces of art too. Like if you look at the Get Down one, it's got cats in there. It's got. You know what I mean? There's all that stuff. I like when people get fun with the art and put stuff.
Yeah, I like when people get fun and talking about like Dinos and Rezo. And I didn't know if you were doing this on purpose or like maybe this was just a byproduct of the art. Was like when you start introducing little characters, like obviously the Rezo Man. You got the Rezo Man tattooed on you. Every piece of artwork of Rezo had the Rezo Man on it in some capacity. Dinos, I'm noticing that they're using Dino and not Dino specifically, but he also uses other people in the scene, like
John Oro was in there, Ronnie, yeah, I like that too because he's
so with Forbidden. Like I noticed, I don't know if this was a thing, but it was like a coyote.
It wasn't a representative of a specific person.
No. I know it wasn't a specific person, but it's just
but creating the character,
creating this character.
Not on purpose.
It was sort of like a byproduct of just the art coming together.
In fact, I know that artwork that you're talking about was supposed to be 2020s, and then we turned it into the Auto Mixer artwork.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was like nighttime driving to the casino.
Because that's kind of cool. We're out in the desert, coyotes. Like, it'd be kind of cool maybe to incorporate that. I don't know. I always find that, like, I actually want to do that for my brand. I wanted, because, back in the day, you used to have the little radical tops dude who was a little rat, and then you had the airbag it guy, and then, like, those are kind of fun. Like, obviously Roth had Rat Fink, and then even like some companies use the Western Exterminator logo, the guy with the hammer. So I wanted something like that. I was trying to figure it out, and I came up with like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I came up with like this robot. Like I want to do this robot, and he kind of looks like me, like a flat bill hat and carrying a camera and stuff, wearing Nike Cortez, and I like came up with a few sketches, and I try to get my artist friend to do me something, but. You know how artist friends are, but I think that's cool.
You just got to go on Fiverr, man. Super cheap.
So.
Like you could $50 draw this if you like it. You like it. If not, $50 draw this. Yeah. Eventually you'll find that, and then you'll be like, "Yep, that's it."
Yeah. Well, I should do that.
And you'll get it done. You can get it done in 2 weeks.
Because then, like, it becomes like, I'd like you don't even if I could create like a little character and incorporate it into like the brand, and then when people just see the character, they're like. Oh, I'm actually, now that I think about it, I kind of did that with my face. You know what I mean?
You did.
Yeah, I kind of did that. Whoops.
Yeah. That's what I'm working on right now with this new idea of like almost like band t-shirts, like event t-shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the first one's going to have me and Milan on it.
Oh, that's fun.
the LST one, there's going to be a couple things on that, you know what I mean? And then the Mini Nats one will have like me and you on it.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
fun.
There's going to be this like play on it. I just have to dial it in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm doing that. I don't even know how those are going to sell, but I think it's going to be fun for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And that's sort of like, and I ride that line, we've talked about this a lot. That's the line I ride. Oh, we have matching cups.
Yeah. Remember that idea? What was that idea Will had?
Yeah, like we like
the next
hand it over and do that kind of stuff. That was a great question from Mike that kind of like spurred in my brain like this whole long history of Forbidden Fantasy show shirts. Now and it's still going strong, and it's a fun thing. It's a fun little part of the show. That has a lot of history and stuff behind it. But that's all. That's all. That's that for that one.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on show shirts?
No, I'm looking at more questions right here.
Oh, okay. From the Instagram?
No, this is like questions that people.
Oh, these are the previous ones.
These are previous ones. Yeah, I think we answered this one. So this one, this question was from Tyler up in Canada, and he was basically, if you could go to a show and not have to run a booth, shoot for a magazine or YouTube, not worry about travel.
We've done that one.
Yeah,
we've done that one
but
before,
just be able to show. But which show would it be? He's saying specifically which show would you go to,
and not do anything, just take a truck and just show and go have a good time.
Yep.
Yeah, mini nats 100%.
Yeah, same here.
We said that earlier in the episode. Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun, but like I've said before about that same kind of thing, like it would be so rad and I'd love to do it, but I don't know, I can't not just record something. Even if it was with my phone, like just I don't know, I just have this need to do it.
I don't. Mm-hmm. I do, but I don't. I think I'm over that part of it.
Well, yeah.
But the booth is hard because here's my thing. You're going to hang out somewhere anyways.
That's true.
And then also the recording part, when you walk, you're going to walk around the show anyways. So that's where I would go. Why don't I have my camera here and just at least record a 2-3 minute video?
Right.
But then it's hard. You either almost have to like not do it or do it. Mm-hmm. Because when you have your camera and you're walking around, now you're not paying attention to shit. Mm-hmm. You're just walking around and you're like not taking it in. Like there's so much at Mini Nats. And so like I didn't even realize how many old school Ford Rangers were there at Mini Nats this year until like I was like filming one because I love those trucks. And I was like filming one and then I was like, oh, there's another one next to it. Okay, so I filmed that one. And then I like stood back. I'm all, oh, there's like, there's like a dozen right here. And I stopped recording and I just like started looking at them and like, and that's the part that you don't get when you're filming. But also if you're not filming, you want everyone else to see the cool stuff there too. So it's like
that's where my head goes is like, I just want to show it off. I want to show people like, oh, look at all this cool stuff, So that's where but I totally get that. I totally get that feeling too. You get so wrapped up in filming and jumping and filming and jumping that, you either miss stuff or people say, hey, did you see this? And you're like, no, nope, didn't see that. Yeah.
I would love to if I could bring like the booth, someone to work the booth, and then bring Chupas, and then me don't do anything. But I can't do that chill. Because I would feel like I'm just being a piece. I would just feel like, no, I need to do this. Like this is not fair. I already feel that way sometimes when other people work the booth. I'm like, wait, this is my thing. I need to do this. So if I could do it, if I could get to a point where I made enough money to pay someone to do those two things, to where I felt good enough to where I could just walk around and just talk to people and look at stuff, and then that's what. Yeah,
I mean that'd be cool. That'd be a good place to get to.
Yeah.
We've talked about Trey from KIK. When he was running it, that's what he would do. We just chill.
But he didn't have the film part of it.
He didn't have the film part of it, but he had an army of people to run his booth.
Well, I don't know.
Needed that whole setup needed an army.
But he really didn't have an army. It was mostly like I just think his wife and stuff.
Yeah, I would just notice that there's like when I say army, I mean like 6 people. I guess they would have like 4 lines. Remember?
No, they would have 1 line.
Oh, I seem to remember multiple. I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're not getting there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know, right? We're gonna be slamming stuff in the Maverick for years to come.
Oh man! So that's a funny that you bring that up because the Maverick just turned 10,000 miles.
What already?
4,500 of that was our
I know.
trip.
I know.
So I'm like,
as soon as it came out of my mouth, I realized like, oh wait a minute, we took a cross country.
But here's the thing: I'm like, oh, as much as I like love saving gas with it, I'm like, I don't want to drive this across country anymore.
Right.
I don't want to ding this thing with miles like that. I'm just like, I don't know. So I don't know. So that's another topic for another time. But
yeah, no, I think the same way. Like, because I really want to go and get a Tundra, but am I gonna do that?
Yeah.
But then again, so here's the other. Well, no, you're in the same scenario as I am because like the way I look at it, and this might be this probably is wrong. But like I go on these long trips. I put a bunch of miles on the truck, but then I don't really go anywhere when I'm here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I only go take the kids to school or, my whole existence in this little town is about a 2-mile radius, so like I don't go very far.
Yeah. I've done a couple trips to California in it. And and that's about it. And every day I have to leave here, I have to drive far, so it's like I'm putting.
That's
up.
true.
It's a little different, but at the same time, I don't know. If I were to buy another big truck, I would not drive it as much as the Titan, because I wouldn't buy another big truck anyways, just because it's a waste of money. They're $60,000. They're $55,000.
Yeah,
and that's too much money for not driving it.
No, that's the other side of it. That's a good point.
If you're gonna have a $800 car payment and you're like, I don't really want to put a lot of miles on this, it's like,
yeah.
It's like, well, I might as well just kept my Titan, and that's my mindset behind the Titan. So
I mean, that is a very valid argument, very valid point.
But then I'm just like, now I look at the inexpensive Maverick and I'm like, oh, I don't want to drive that either. I'm like, I'm just not going to drive anywhere. What am I going to do? I don't know what to do. I need to buy a car with already 200,000 miles on it.
Right. Just keep on buying old crappy trucks.
Yeah.
And just putting more and more miles on them.
Yeah.
But dude, even the old crappy trucks, you gotta pay premium price for them. So
I know. I don't know. If
we're getting off topic.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, because if we go to mini nets again, it'll probably be towing something, so that the Maverick won't go anyways. But yeah, we're getting off topic.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was the show. If I didn't do anything and just go hang out, and it'd be that one.
Yeah, mini nets. Let's see.
I have some other ones here in the chamber. If
you got anything that's standing out?
This is kind of a good one. This person, Cube61 on Instagram, asks, your thoughts on daily driven show trucks versus trailered show trucks? I actually think about that a lot. Like, I actually think about that probably more often than not, where I think, like, I have the 4Runner. It's a great truck. I love driving it. Every time I drive it, I fall in love with it again. And then that goes back in the garage, and then I climb in my, stock truck, and I do my rest of my life. And I always think, like, man, I wish I had something cool to drive every day.
And you
like
do.
If I had,
and you do.
I do. Oh, I mean the 4Runner.
Yeah.
I mean I could drive that every day.
There's no reason.
There's nothing stopping me. Yeah, there's nothing stopping.
There's no reason you can't drive it every day.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
My biggest thing, like, I worry about interior. So because I'm a bigger guy, and I kick interior stuff when I get in and out of my trucks, stock or whatever, and I worry that I couldn't daily drive like a show truck with full interior, because once I ruin it,
true.
I would be like,
But what about full show truck, or just something? And this is where I'm conflicted. Is like, what about if it's just something really mild that's cool, like either just like static drop, doesn't have to be bag necessarily, just a cool car on cool wheels, kind of like the Camry. The Camry is that kind of. It's a stock Camry, but it's on a cool set of wheels. I don't drive it because that's Angie's car, so I don't get to drive it that much, but. Sometimes I do feel like that when I'm driving my Titan. It's a great truck. I love it. It looks good, but it's just a stock truck. I'm like, man, it'd be cool if it was like lowered on some wheels or something,
I think about that too, and then every time I think about it, I go, well, tires are too expensive, and I drive too much. And so if I put I think about that with the Maverick. I have the springs in there to lower it, but then I get on the Maverick forums and people are like, hey, I had to have my axles replaced at this many miles. And
because they put the springs in?
Yeah. So I'm like,
wow.
Adam was making fun of me. Adam from our club was making fun of me because I'm like, I kind of just like it stock. And he goes, what? And I go, yeah, I like that truck stock.
Adam is a great example because all of his cars are cool.
Yes.
And it doesn't like, his Tesla is different because it's bagged. It's going to have really nice freaking wheels on it. But like, even like his dually, it's a stockish dually, but it's got a little lift and tires and, I don't know if it has wheels on it, but I mean, it's a good looking truck. And so, that he's sort of like the example that I would use to be like, and this is going to sound very shallow, I guess, but pulling up to the bus stop, what do I want to pull up in? My okay looking Titan or something really cool? But then what does that matter? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. You're just it doesn't matter what other people think. That's the thing. If you worry too much about what other people think and not what you actually like, too many people worry about not what they enjoy in life, but what other people think they should enjoy in life.
And that's a good point, because that's what happens. And all of a sudden you get all these parents driving like super expensive cars when they don't need to be driving super expensive cars.
Or you just go through life doing things that you think other people think you should do rather than what you should do. Like, it goes to anything, like going to, okay, here's a good example. Taylor Swift. So many people make fun of Taylor Swift. You know how many people I know that I didn't ever think would go to a Taylor Swift concert that went?
Really?
Oh yeah, they're like, yeah,
That's
we're
surprising.
Swifties, and and I'm like, go do your thing, man. It doesn't matter what other people think. Like
Right.
if you like Taylor Swift or if you like whatever, don't not go to something or hide that you went to something because of what other people would think.
Right. But on the other side of that same coin, like that's one thing. Am I doing this stuff to because like that? But for me, it's different. My attitude towards life is a lot different. Like I don't want to drive like okay, let's say I start driving the 4Runner every day. I don't want to drive that every day because like I think people think that's cool. I probably think people think that's dumb.
Yeah,
like
that's
dumped.
true.
This dumped 4Runner, right?
Yeah.
But I do it because you get the that guy's different. That's the category that I fall into. So I don't want to go up to the bus stop to impress these assholes that I got big wheels on a full size truck or something. I wanted them to go like, why does he have those big wheels on that truck?
Mm-hmm. But it's a very
that's
similar
the
thing.
That's why I said same coin.
Yeah, we're doing it not because it's almost like driving that Maverick stock. I just enjoy driving it stock. Like I don't really care what I should be doing. Like I don't know. It's just a thing.
It's all. I think it's all like psychological. Like, I don't know.
Big time. Yeah.
Could be.
Do whatever you want. But I think going back to that question of trailer versus drive. I don't.
Well, no, that's not what he said. Wait, okay. No, you're right. It says your thoughts on daily driven show trucks versus trailered show trucks. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I think it's so funny because in other countries they don't trailer their trucks as much as we do here. Like Australia, they drive their trucks far, and they're full show trucks, and we don't. It's so funny to watch people load their not even full show vehicles onto a trailer and drive 100 miles to a show.
Yeah.
It's like, just drive it. It honestly, what are you like if you're scared of rock chips and stuff? It happens in a trailer.
Yeah.
Or on a trailer. I could see if you're like trying to fit your whole family somewhere and stuff, then it makes a lot of sense. But if it's just like you and your buddy or you, it just cracks me up that some people load their truck on a trailer to drive a short distance. Like if you're driving across the country, then it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Do whatever you want to do.
Here's another thing that I've thought before. Because I remember going up to Canada one time, and those dudes because the show's in Lethbridge, all of our friends live in like Red Deer, which is a considerable far away, and they're all driving their trucks, and some of them are mini trucks that don't run the greatest, I guess, and I'm thinking like, man, these guys are jumping in these trucks and they're just driving them. That's so cool. But if you think about it, they drive on a flat surface, like just it's flat all the way there. Here in Southern California specifically, there's a lot of hills and mountains and like stuff to get through, So that's what, and I say that because that's always kind of what stopped me before. Like now that the 4Runner is different because it runs good and it's a good truck and it drives well. But when I had other trucks that didn't run so well, that's the things that would stop me.
Well, he said show trucks.
No, I know. I'm just kind of going.
Not I traded this crappy truck for this other crappy truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going off. I'm going off somewhere here.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it is. I would think that would be even more of a thing on the East Coast, because if you think about it, there's more hills and stuff back there to drive up and down on the regular freeways than there is out here.
That's true. Yeah. Scratch that from the record. Moving on.
Scratch everything we said from the record. This is just us working through things.
Yeah. This is a good one, and the answer is no.
Oh, okay.
Our friend Pat up in Canada asked, "Can we have a small tour of the compound?" No. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I got some things moving and shaking around here. Maybe one day. But as of right now, no.
I have a good one.
Yeah, go for it.
Tim Rollins, ENFAMY, infamy on Instagram. He says, since print media is basically dead, getting in one of your guys' videos is the new magazine feature. In a sense, anyway, in my head. What are your thoughts?
That's flattering, but I don't know. Like, I can't speak for you. I can only speak for myself. Like, my videos are like man, this is gonna sound really self-deprecating, but they're not good enough quality to warrant being like, wow, I made it in a Kustom Life video.
No, I think
you know what I mean?
I don't think that's the case at all. So before YouTube, if your truck in show coverage made it into a magazine,
That's true.
you would be very excited.
Oh yeah.
So I
I
remember
used to get excited when you look in a picture and you're like, look, see it, the sixth
So-
vehicle?
Yeah.
That's my wheel.
Yeah. So the first time, Rezo 1995 to 96 was my first show I took my truck to, and my Toyota on the quarter panel on the bed was dented.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they took a picture of this really nice full size, and I could see the dent in the background. I went to the store and bought 5 of those magazines.
That's awesome.
So,
Okay.
and then one of my other favorite things to get into was mini truck and graffiti. Remember the
the
back?
thing in
So
the back.
I know they're trying to they're going to restart Mini Truckin' Magazine or a different magazine titled Mini Truckin' or however they're doing it. So if you're listening to this, do that. That was so cool. The back page was just a random pictures. Like it could have been a guy walking at a show holding his kid or something cool. Like it was just awesome. So anytime I remember my back logo got in that and I was like, oh my God, this is so
that's
amazing.
cool.
So I could see the same because there is no excitement now for that.
Right.
So I could definitely, because it's different when you see a picture of your truck on the internet in show coverage, because the internet show coverage is every vehicle. They want it
A lot of the times,
they want as many pages of show coverage as possible. Where in a magazine there was only 3 pages of show coverage, or 3 or 4, whatever. So it was a different feeling because they picked your picture out of all the other ones. So it's not as special as that. So I think same with our videos. We can't put every single vehicle in there. So when their vehicle pops up in our video, I get you. That's the same feeling as that magazine feeling. So yeah, I think that. And I think that's any video, not just our videos.
Right. Anybody who's creating videos like that, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's on the internet. You could go in the living room and turn the TV on, turn it to YouTube, and now there's your truck on your TV screen.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, that's a great point. Like I said, it's just like self-deprecation. Like, don't be excited. This is my video.
Yeah, but that's the same with me. That's how I think about my videos too. And then everyone's like, no, they're really good. So that's just us being.
That's just us being self-deprecating.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's cool. That's a good way to look at it. And that makes you feel good too, because like, that's sort of what I set out to do in the beginning of this thing, was only to document and show off this stuff. And like I've said this before, and so if I was being very self-deprecating a second ago, I'm gonna be very
the opposite
of that right now. It's because when I'm at a show, and if I'm filming something, I'm filming it because I like it and I think it's cool. I'm not filming it like you were saying just to fill the video with trucks. Like
exactly,
anybody. Well, I'm not saying anybody could do that, but you can do that. But that's not what I want to do. So anytime you see something in the video, it's because I'm like, I like that. That's cool. I'm gonna go show it off.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. So like, I also try to make it a point to go to parts of the show that maybe aren't as popular as the other parts of the show.
Right.
Like the back corner or this, because a lot of times these shows you'll have the same vehicles in the same clubs, parked in the same areas. But then there's like the guys that aren't maybe in clubs, or they aren't. What you know what I mean? They don't have the most popular truck at the time or whatever, and they kind of sometimes get lost in the mix.
Yeah,
and sometimes those are super rad trucks more than the ones that everybody talks about. So I try to kind of make it back there and get those, because that's where I parked my truck when I took it to shows. You know? So
yeah, no, I get it, and kind of you brought up the MT graffiti thing specifically about these like random pictures of just people doing stuff. To go right back to the top of this conversation, what that guy said, he was right. Like, it is cool when you're watching a video and there's like shenanigans, not even labeling shenanigans, but like people just being there, like just observing people doing stuff. You're really good at it. You put it in a lot. I tend to forget to get that kind of footage, and that's why mine's lacking like that. But I get excited about that stuff, my YouTube consumption might be a little bit different. It might be the same as people, but if someone comes out with a video, I'll scrub through it to see that kind of stuff. Like the trucks are rad, and I like that, but I'll scrub through them like, oh, did they get this person doing this, or like, this activity that was happening,
To quote your favorite person in the world, which is Ronnie Wetch from C10 Talk, the trucks are cool, but the people are cooler.
Oh yeah. Yes, he's correct in that. No, he's spot on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and back to that person who made the comment about not having it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay,
Hey,
fine.
We can't win them all, man.
We can't win them all.
Yeah.
We can only create what we can create.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Like, that's really cool for that person to say that, like, what we're doing is people enjoy it, and they're
Also,
also be part of it.
Also, hats off to the dude that made that comment, because it takes a little bit of I don't want to say like a balls or whatever, but to criticize in a way, rather than just compliment all the time.
Oh, you're talking about the guy who commented on my video?
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because we can't always see, oh man, this is a great video. Da 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 da. Like, I want to know, hey, was there something? Even the people that sometimes go, this music sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, does it suck? No, there's guy's just a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, so there's
but
like
but at least it makes you think, I guess.
Yeah. There's a way to do it and a way not to. Like, that guy just said, oh, I wish it was a little longer. Maybe it didn't come out like that, but maybe it comes out like he's just being a jerk. But maybe
he wasn't even being a jerk. Like, honestly, like, it's just me.
Yeah,
just being sensitive. Stop being such a little.
Whoa.
No. Yeah. Well, cool. That was a great question. You want to go for one more, or because we're getting along here.
Yeah, we're moving. That's all right. We'll do another one. This is from Glenn Moss.
Oh, Glenn. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
While driving your Kustom, we don't drive custom trucks, Glenn.
I know.
What kind of driver scares you the most? Is it a different kind of driver when you're towing your Kustom? So, like, I think he's saying, like, I don't know what he's saying there.
I think he's saying that, like, other people on the road when you're driving your truck, because you're very, you don't want to, like, wreck it or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of oblivious to all that stuff. I mean, look, you've driven with me plenty, right? I
almost had a guy come hit me just coming home, but 2 days ago. It was a guy in one of the gas company trucks, big old dually, and I heard him rev the engine. There was I was coming up on his back end, and the truck that was in front of him was going a little slow, and I heard the motor start to go, and I go, oh, he's getting over. So I moved over, and he came right into my lane. I honked, and he went right back in his lane. I listened. I heard his motor rev, and I knew he was going to come over. So, like, I am so trying to, like, be proactive when driving, like paying attention to, like, if I'm in the fast lane and I'm passing a diesel truck and I see that the vehicle in front of him is going slow, that dude's going to get over.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and get out in front of you.
Yeah. So, like, I'm just like, I try to, like, predict things a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're definitely. I've said this many times before. You're definitely the better driver out of the two of us. But yeah, no, I'm just, I don't know.
It's not anything in particular. It's just everybody.
No, it's just like regular driving.
Mm-hmm.
I think what he means is I think also what that kind of question is asking is, like, are you, like, heightened senses when you're driving your custom vehicle opposed to, like, your stock vehicle? Because that makes sense, I guess. I guess I'm a little more aware.
I'm heightened in the Maverick because the parts for that are few and far between.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I've seen guys on the forums that are that get in wrecks, and they're like, yeah, they don't have this part, so I'm just waiting forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's a thing. Even driving a newer truck, the parts aren't available.
I have a funny little thing to bring up because of this. It wasn't any other drivers in particular. It was me.
Yeah.
So we're cruising down PCH, and it's Steve in his truck, and I'm in the 4Runner. Okay. So I'm driving. I'm, like, trying to film him with my phone, and I'm, like, looking like this. And I'm watching. I'm doing this, so I'm not going to hit anything in front of me. But I'm, like, doing it, and I look at I'm glancing my phone, and he's, like, going into the turning lane. So what's he doing? I'm like, oh, I'm in his lane. And I had, like, kind of drifted over. And this is the funny part is we're not going very fast, and all the windows are rolled down so we could see each other. So I go, like, oh shit. And then I went over and I look at him, and he looks at me, and we just start laughing. So there's that too.
Have you ever been told that while you're driving, if you stare at something, you will naturally drift towards it?
No, but that makes sense. That's exactly what happened in that scenario.
Yeah, they say
it's sort of like
if you're, like, looking off to the side, eventually you will naturally drift towards what you're looking at.
Interesting. Well, that's what happened. I almost took Steve and his son out, but not really.
Not really. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good question, I guess.
Yeah. There's do you have anything else short and sweet? Because we're like
yeah. Let's see a short and sweet one. Pat, this is also a good one from Pat too. Pat from Canada. He says, "Who drives more?" I think that just whose truck it is. I've like kind of noticed. Like if it's my truck, I drive more. You know, if it's your truck, you drive more. So.
I did notice that a couple of times when we were going on trips and stuff. Yeah. Yep. Whoever's truck we're in drives more.
Yep. All right. Well,
we got a really good one about electric trucks and what we think about and would we ever
that's
own
a
one.
whole episode.
That's a whole different thing. So
that's a whole episode.
Look for that question.
We need to address that. I feel like I don't think we've necessarily skirted around the issue, but we've never really addressed it either. But who are we to address issues? That sounded weird. You know, you're not addressing the issues of electric vehicles on your podcast.
Yeah, there's also there's so much information that people don't pay attention to when it comes to that stuff that it's hard to have a conversation with. It would be like me having a conversation about something I don't know about. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
that's such a big thing to understand.
And when you talk to a lot of car guys, custom car guys, they don't pay attention to what's happening in that part of the world. So it's and I listen to a lot of podcasts about electrification and transportation, and I just do a lot of reading about it. And
well, maybe we could have like a general conversation.
Yeah. So I would love to definitely touch on that subject, but it's going to take. It'll be a good one.
Whole thing. Yeah.
It's a fun conversation, and I can actually, I'll kind of let my insights on what I listen to and read and all that stuff. And maybe people will find it interesting too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that sounds good.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks for checking out this week's episode. Go to our website, grinder-tv.com. We still don't have a giveaway.
We don't.
Or maybe by this time this episode comes out, maybe we will.
We'll talk about that on the post podcast right now.
Cool. Well, when this comes out on the 21st, and we've been talking about our giveaway on Instagram that we're giving away, go to our websites, purchase merchandise.
Yeah.
Get entered to win.
You could purchase merchandise, get entered to win. By the time this comes out, I'll have a new wallet on there. And you'll be entered to win what you don't know, what we don't know.
When I send out packages between giveaways, I put on there like, hey, you're already entered to win the next one. So
same here.
All right, cool. All right, later.